spin and throwing my car 100 times better. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors. Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to learn about transmission fluid. Is it time to change it? Should you change it? Or how do you know when it's time to change it? So stay tuned, watch the video to the end, and you're going to find out all about it. The first thing that I want to state, did you know, recommended by Audi, you're supposed to change your transmission fluid every 30 to 50,000 miles? Don't feel bad. You're probably 90% of the people out there that went through your car's entire life of you leasing it, buying it, or selling it without ever changing your transmission fluid. So I'm going to talk to you about signs that you do need to change your transmission fluid. In addition, I'm going to talk to you about some of the benefits and perks that I personally got from changing mine myself. So the first thing I want to say, guys, it's not expensive to flush your transmission fluid. The fluid costs about $58 for all of the fluid that you need for your vehicle, and the dealership is probably going to charge you about $100 bucks. You're looking at about $150 to flush your transmission fluid, and this is going to be every 30 to 50,000 miles. So, you know, it's not going to be something that you're going to be doing consistently. And why not be proactive to ensure that your car is running the way it needs to? See, a lot of times we don't realize we're not getting the best performance out of our vehicles, and we think that it's a spark plug, we think it's a tune-up. You won't believe that changing your fluid will actually help the performance in your vehicle, and it will keep your vehicle up to par, keep those transmission temps down as well. If you're dealing with really, you know, dark black transmission oil versus the red entry level or the brown normal wear, that's where you're gonna start running into a lot of issues. Now, you know, I know there's gonna be people, like I said before, that may not have ever changed it, may not feel like they are missing anything, but everything is gradual. Just like, you know, if you're with someone and they're gaining weight, you don't notice if they gain weight, or you don't notice if you lost weight until a relative sees you and says, hey, you lost weight. So you could just be gradually losing that performance and not realizing it. And, you know, if you leave and come back to your vehicle, you can notice that you're missing some performance in your vehicle. So it's definitely an overlooked thing. It's definitely an overlooked maintenance that you can do to your vehicle. Now, I'm a DIY guy, so I normally do it myself, but I highly recommend, unless you really know what you're doing, just pay the $150, have the dealership do it, hold them accountable for it. If you don't, because the fluid is going to cost about $50, you're paying roughly $100 and having it serviced and warranted, and that put on a Carfax for your vehicle. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the obvious things like your car gear shifts don't move, you know, you're leaking transmission fluid. Those are the obvious things. I want to talk more about the things that we probably overlook and the things that we don't know about. For example, if you have a burning smell coming from your engine and you're not sure what it is, that could potentially be your transmission fluid. And I can guarantee you it's going to be black fluid, because it's so warm and heated up, it's going to give you a real kind of a burn smell. And then the other thing is being able to shift gears efficiently. You know, a lot of times we can contribute a lot of things to turbo lag, you know, but believe it or not, a lot of things will contribute a lot of things to the turbo lag or the intake manifold, but believe it or not, your transmission is the key thing for you to be able to get that instant torque that you need, hence torque converter. If you're running an automatic or a clutch, if you're running a manual. So that's going to be the biggest key factor in you having that efficiency in your car. And a lot of people just don't know that. I feel this is so affordable to do, and it's so valuable to your vehicle's longevity. Why not do it? Why not take the extra step to get it done so your car can run the best way it can? One of the biggest things that I hear from so many people in the Audi community is that when they're hitting those gears, sometimes when they're boosting a lot or they're pushing their car hard, the RPM will jump all the way to 6 or 7, but it won't grab. It's like you missed a gear in the automatic, if you understand what I'm saying, versus a clutch. It just kind of goes, it just kind of shoots up, and it doesn't get that kick or that pull with it. So remember, the transmission is all about gears and pulling each other. If your fluid is not lubricating enough, you're going to run into issues to where you're not going to be able to pull those gears. So when you are throwing that car into a high RPM, you pull it, that's when you're going to get that slip, or it won't have the immediate contact from having good, efficient fluid. So if you are struggling with switching gears, you don't feel like your torque is the way it used to be, try getting your transmission service. It may help out. It may put your car back where it needs to be. Like I said, you don't know what you're missing because it was such a gradual process to get there. But I personally changed my transmission fluid, and I'm sure you guys saw from the beginning clip. I personally felt like, wow, I can't believe this is something I overlooked. And I was one of those people who went forever without changing their transmission fluid. I waited to, without changing my transmission fluid. I'm guilty as charged. And I just took a step back as I was dialing into my vehicle, and I said, okay, I feel like I'm missing this. I checked my spark plugs, I checked my intake manifold, I checked my throttle body. I just felt I wasn't getting that instant torque or that power that I used to have. I saw the numbers, so I said, let me just research a little bit, and Lord behold, I never got my transmission service. So don't feel bad if you didn't, and I'm sure there's some people who have, but I'm just sharing this knowledge with you guys so that you guys can not make my mistakes, and at the same time, your vehicles can last forever. So when I tell you that I felt like my car was new again, and I felt like I got a mild tune, I'm not gonna go crazy, and I felt like I got some extra horsepower and a mild tune put in my vehicle. But once again, it was just a feeling. I wasn't getting more horsepower, but I was missing some of my horsepower. I was missing some of that torque. I was missing the enjoyment in driving my vehicle. And I simply did the transmission flush and changed my fluid. And I got my vehicle back the way that I remembered it. I know there's a lot of myths out there. Never change your transmission fluid. Your transmission, if you change your fluid and your transmission can go bad, it's not meant to do that. Those are the older vehicles. That's going to be, 2000s, the 1980s through the 1980 through the late 90s. We're talking about the new vehicles. They have a lot of technology. The engineers have designed, and they put specific criteria that they needed for these items to live the longevity and be extended as much as possible. So yeah, guys, I'm just sharing this information with you. Get your transmission flush. You won't believe the benefit in doing so. I don't have any specific dealer. I'm not sponsored by anyone in this vehicle. I'm just here to help you guys out. I really appreciate all of my subscribers. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate, the instant communication with myself along with all of the subscribers. I'm just here as a support tool to push you guys to keep those Audis running good, to stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you guys for subscribing. Don't forget to like the video and share it. Thank you. Once again, it's Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors. Thank you for watching the video.